Welcome to this episode of Pup Dates. If you ever wonder what happened to the dogs that I'm sitting with, did they get adopted? Who is their new family? Well, I've got the answers for you in this episode of Pup Dates. And whether it's Moose the Mastiff, Zeus the Border Collie, or even Mae the Doberman, I've got some really happy adoption stories. But first, let's start with the story of Lucy, because there was a family that was interested in her that drove 15 hours. But the way she reacted to them was a little surprising. That update. But first, here's a refresher on her story.
Staff showed me this picture, which caught my attention and sent the alarm bells off right away because of the drool. This is not a dog that drools. So, extreme stress.
If you were to ask someone what the number one breed is in the shelter, they would say pit bull. I'm here to tell you that's actually wrong. It's German Shepherds. And when you combine all Shepherds, they're the number one breed. I'd say followed by Huskies. And this isn't every shelter. This is what I'm seeing. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, that's not the case at our shelter. But I question, how long has it been since you've been there? I think you might be surprised at how many Shepherds are in the shelter. And there really is nothing more beautiful than a black Shepherd. But they don't fare well in a shelter environment. Most Shepherds don't, because they're meant to be out working. They're very focused and prey-driven. And it's almost like every sound, every movement is amplified in the shelter, and it's really hard on them. And the whole staff and team here know that. When I walked in the door today, this happens sometimes, they all pointed and they said, there's a dog you got to sit with. I immediately came in here. I didn't even want to know the story. I mean, this one's not moving at all. I want to get close to my phone and see. I can't tell if this dog's a boy or a girl. We're going to try a treat here in a minute. That's one of the very first things I can do to see if we can get any sort of shift and let them know that I come as a friend. And I know this one has a story that I almost don't want to hear. I try not to get the story when I come in the door, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But first, let's try a treat. I'm just going to toss one over there. I'm going to go ahead and sit down. I mean, the good thing is this one's not reacting or moving. But I have to be careful because I've seen in these situations where a dog will very quickly react, and this is what can lead to dog bites. Because you just keep putting pressure on the dog, you don't get a reading. You keep putting pressure on the dog, you don't get a reading. You get the reaction that you don't want. Let's try another treat. Okay, we have a little movement, a little nose work, so that's good. I don't think this is going to work, and this makes me a little nervous, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to just do the whole stick to give us some distance and see if there's any interest in that. I think the reason when you see a really pretty black Shepherd like this shut down, that it just is so alarming and it just puts me into a state of sadness, is because you just want your dog to be happy and to be wagging their tail and to come up to you and be as excited to greet you as you are them. And so when you see a dog in this state, you go, what happened? Like, what went wrong? Outside of just coming to the shelter, there's more than that here. And this is what happens when you bring your dog to a shelter. They can't comprehend what's going on and they go into near shutdown mode most of the time. But there's something deeper here with this dog, you can tell. Not interested in treats, just wants me to go away. But we're going to find out their story here in a minute. I'm going to try one more treat because there was a little nose work on the last one. Let's try one more time and see what we can get. Okay, not eating the treat, but doesn't matter. There was acceptance of the treat. That I'll take that. I was doing a little dance on the inside. Maybe a little bit of it came out also. That makes me happy. There's hope. I just need, all I need sometimes is just a little crack in the door so I can get my foot in there. And then I'm like, hi, we're best friends. I love you. You're gonna love me. It's gonna be okay. We are now bonded forever. I think we need to find out her story because that might tell us a lot. Hey, I'm sitting with this black shepherd in here, as you saw. Do you need more time, or have you been able to pull some of the details together?
I was actually pulling some details right when you called. I don't know if you want to hear everything or not. It is a pretty tragic story.
Oh, no. I think I need to. I was telling everyone, I don't know if I finished my thought. I was telling everyone, like, I try not to get the story before I come in here because I don't want to put that on the dog. I want to come in just for a moment, and I see this happen a lot at a shelter. The dog will be marked aggressive, and they're absolutely not aggressive. It was just the environment, the way that they were being pressured into a reaction. And so I don't want that with the dog. I just want to be able to come in, assess, and see, like, I am not nervous. There's no fear. I know that this dog is willing to extend themselves some because they're willing to take a treat, not eat it yet, but take a treat. So, okay, so first, I can't see, and I'm trying not to make eye contact because it's making this one really nervous. Boy or a girl?
She is a girl.
How old? Young, right?
Yeah, she's only about 10 months old, so she is basically still a puppy.
Okay, what do we... All right, tell me some stuff.
So, this is actually her second time here.
Well, okay.
Earlier this year, back in February.
All right, so no wonder she's disappointed already.
She originally came in as a stray. She was found on the Good Samaritan's land by herself, scared and alone. It was like a really large property, so she was just kind of huddled in a corner out there.
Okay.
They brought her in. And they found out that pairing her up with another dog was really helpful, so she did much better. And then she was actually adopted. Good.
Okay, but that stinks because then that person brought her back? Or they found her, or what?
So that was back in February.
Okay.
And then she recently just got returned because, according to the owner, her husband had passed away. And it was very sudden. And she now has to move away. And when she came in to bring this girl in, she was very distraught, crying, and the staff's, hearts were broken. Even Lucy cried when she left. So there was definitely a connection, a love there. So it was really sad all around.
Oh. Do we have a name for her?
Yes, Lucy.
Wait, so Lucy cried? She was crying?
Yeah, Lucy was crying, whining when the owner had to drop her off. Oh. And the owner herself was very distraught, very upset about having to make the decision.
Oh, Lucy, I am so sorry. Like, we're going to do this scoop. You just watch, because I just want to scoop you up in my arms, Lucy, and just hug you and tell you it's okay. You know what? I'm going to. Okay, let's get everything else out. Is there anything else we need to know?
Well, the owner, just did the best she could, giving any info about her possible that, she had learned about her over the last, half a year or so. Just stuff like they had a pool, and she can swim in the pool. And she is obedience trained also, apparently. Oh, wow. Okay, we'll have to see if she can do some tricks with me here in a little bit if we get her to warm up enough. I'm going to spend some time with her. We're going to try. I've got some ideas. Just wait, guys. Just wait. Oh, she's eating the treats. She's eating the treats. It's like she knows we understand her now, and now she can let her guard down a little bit. That is so awesome. That is amazing. She certainly didn't understand every word we're saying, but she feels the emotion, like just the chills I'm getting. Okay, I'm going to talk with her. Alexis, can you work with Cheryl or Phil in the team and see if we can bring another dog in here so that she's not by herself? Not right this second, but stick around to the end of the video. I'll show you. This may not happen right in this moment, but we'll make sure we get footage of that, whether that happens, later today or tomorrow. You can't just throw any dog in here. You got to make sure it's the right fit. But
stick around to the end of the video and we will pair them up. Let's take a moment and let's tell her how valuable she is. Lucy, I'm sorry, baby girl. I know that your dad loved you a lot and that unfortunately he had to leave, and hopefully one day you'll be reunited. And it's hard and it's not supposed to work that way. A lot of times dogs are the ones that leave us first, or just on different time spans. But you're loved, you know that? And I'm sorry that you're going through this. I'm sorry the family's going through that and had to make this decision, but I have empathy. And I guess I throw it out to you too. Do you think that's the right decision? That, was his dad's dog and mom can't do it now and has to move maybe with family, or, who knows? Is that the right thing, or how do you feel about that? I try and have empathy because you don't know what they're going through. You can tell she's going through a lot and she's missing her best friend. But I have good news for you, Lucy. We met, you and I. And you can close your eyes. You can relax because you're safe now. And it's going to be okay. I promise. Because Lucy, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl. Has somebody told you you're a good girl before? I think they have. You are a good girl. Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Here, do you want a treat? You want to eat out of my hand? Yeah, that's a good girl. You can smell me. You can give me kisses. That's okay. Yeah, you're a good girl, Lucy. Here, you want this treat? You're so good girl. Hi, Lucy. Lucy, do you know any tricks? Do you know how to sit? Do you know how to lay down? Lucy, can you shake? Can you shake? You can tell these words mean things to her. Lucy, you are a pretty girl, and everything that you're going through right now is not your fault. You don't deserve any of this. You didn't do anything wrong. And I know it doesn't make a lot of sense because you're right back here, and you probably loved so much and gave so much of yourself. I know, because you're a shepherd and that's what shepherds do. And you don't understand why dad's not here anymore and why you're here. But I'm here to tell you that you're loved. I take one look at you and I know what an awesome dog you are. And you're going to have the rest of your life. A new family is going to come in and they're going to love you so much. And it's not going to take away the pain of losing dad. But I bet you get a brand new dad that loves you just as much. It's interesting when I'm giving her these positive affirmations that she's actually starting to fall asleep. And you see that happen a lot of times with shelter dogs when they get comfortable because they've come into the shelter environment and they are on guard, especially shepherds, German shepherds. This is what they do. They guard. They're the watchmen of the dog world. And so when they get a little comfort, they go, okay, I can relax a little bit. And that relaxation turns into, oh my goodness, I haven't slept in 24 hours or longer. I want to get her out of this state. And so I want to try something here. But first, I'm going to try some affection. And then we're going to try to do some tricks. Because if she's trained and she can do tricks, that'll help her open up a little bit, because then she'll have some work, which is what German shepherds are built to do. Hi. Hi. Go right here. That's a good girl. Yeah. That's a good girl. Yeah. Does that feel good? Huh? Does that feel good? Oh, yeah. That's a good girl. You're a good girl, Lucy. You're a good girl, Lucy. Oh, yeah. That feel good. Okay. Let's give you some love. Let's go pressure on that cranium there. Yeah. A little relief. That's a good girl. She's so tense right now. That's a good girl. You want a treat? You want a treat? Here, right here. Yeah. So I'm going to try to leash her up a little bit. Now, she's not on the walking program yet, so we can't take her out. But even if we do some loops here in the kennel and we try some things like sit and shake and lay down, that can a lot of times help. It can open a dog up because it gives them purpose, like we were talking about. So let's try it. Hi. Okay, this right here is just my lead. I'm going to check that out. It's clean. I put that through the washing machine this weekend. Okay, I'm just going to put it right here. There you go. Is that okay? Yeah, that's a good girl. She already knows. She's already kind of getting up. Yeah. And then we're going to go for a little walk. Would that be okay? Huh? We're going to keep it really loose. I want her to be able to slip out, like we're not trying to, I have her in a safe environment. So if she's really uncomfortable with it and she wants to slip out of it, that's okay. There we go. I'm going to make that too tight. Okay, so let's try. Let's see if she'll walk with me. And look at that. Look at that. What a difference. Look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. Here. Okay. Let's move around a little more movement. And the whole time she's shut down in the corner. We do a little lead, and now, look at that. She's moving around. Okay, come on. Good girl. Good girl. What a good dog. Like, the fact that you could have a puppy that is well trained. Can you sit? Can you sit? Lucy, sit. Good girl, Lucy. Good girl. That's a good girl, Lucy. Yay. Good girl. Look at that. She acknowledged her name and she really thought about it. And that wasn't like a sit because you're telling me to. That was okay, I'm going to trust you enough to sit. Hi, can you shake? Can you shake? Can you shake, Lucy? We're not there yet. Okay, can we lay down? You want to lay down? You'll go lay down over there? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. You want to lay down on my blanket? Okay, that's okay. You want to lay down? Lucy, you want to lay down? You want to lay down? I have some big news. I have a little tail wag. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, that's good. Hi, thank you. Yeah, you want a treat? That's good. Thank you for the kisses. You're a good girl. I want to pet this little white area on your chest. That's more for me than for you. Her little white mark. I love when you see, I couldn't even see that. I just saw an all black shepherd. And then she's got the little white chest hair. Hi. Lucy, you're so cute. You're stunning is what you are. Look at that. Hi, you're stunning. Yeah. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl, Lucy. Good girl. It's pretty cute how she's sitting on my blanket. That makes me really happy because it's a sign of affection. She's showing me that, she's comfortable with me. Yeah. Good girl. This is so great. This is so amazing. So awesome. It makes me so happy. You're so wonderful. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. You want another piece of treat? Okay. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. What a difference. What a difference. We can get you out of your shell for sure. Oh, you want the big piece? That's amazing. Her confidence level, you can see it growing by the size of the treat that she's taking. Okay, I want to go get that other big stick because now I just have these little 2 pieces left. She's comfortable enough to be eating, which is really awesome. Hi. That's a good girl. I'm going to go over here and try to grab this other treat. I'll just switch around here. I don't want you going in the corner. And I also want to try to get this phone on her little face because it's so cute. Hi. I could just spend all day with you, sweetie. Hi. What's unbelievable, what's so amazing about dogs is you saw this shutdown dog, and it's only been, here, I'll tell you exactly. It's been 48 minutes and 34 seconds. And in that time, she decided that it would be okay to trust me. Which is just so unbelievable. Here you go. There's some people outside walking around that she's looking at. Yeah, girl. That's a good girl. I think you might want to do the scoop. Oh, come here. You want to come over my lap? You want to come over here? You want to come over here? You want to come over here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Okay. You were going to come my lap, and then you went for the behind the lap. But still pretty cute, though, huh? So cute. Yeah, I can't see your face. There it is. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Got my new cuddle buddy here.
Okay, so good news. Phil was actually able to help out, which I really appreciate because he was super busy. And Trent is also jumping in. They found a Husky who's really friendly, and so we're going to try that first. Okay, at first, pretty friendly greeting. That's good. Lucy's tail isn't extremely tucked or anything like that. It's not happy and wagging, but she's not in complete fear. The Husky, as you can see, is just as happy as can be. It looks like Lucy's retreating a little bit, kind of shutting down more versus opening up more. That should happen over time naturally. Okay, this is good. Not running away or snapping back. Okay, our Husky friend's a little too friendly. It might be too much. I mean, the goal is for them to just be able to get along. But if the Husky is too eager, then that will just stress Lucy out more versus giving her companionship. Phil tries to comfort Lucy and let her know that it's going to be okay. And they're going to give it one more try.
Somebody that's mellow.
I think Trent said it right. We gotta find someone that's mellow. Thank you, Husky, for being so friendly, but it's too much. It's just too much. Okay, let's try dog number 2. This is a Chow Chow mama, and she could really use this companionship too because she recently had puppies that got adopted, and so now it's just her. All right, we have Lucy's tail down, the Chow Chow mama's tail up. Initial hello is good. Phil showing comfort. He's so good with these dogs. Look at Lucy's tail though, just certainly still tucked. Trent thinks maybe Lucy is concerned more about him than the Chow Chow. So he does something that I really love here. He sits with dogs. It's pretty insightful of Trent to realize that maybe Lucy's a little nervous of him, so he just steps back to give some breathing room. All right, as a little time passes and both leashes are dropped, they seem to be doing okay. You can tell Lucy starts to relax a little bit. She's okay with Sky. She's becoming okay with Trent. This could be a good fit. Well, still a little nervous about Trent. But the thing is, they don't need to be best friends. They just have to know that they're okay in each other's presence. Okay, right here, they step out of the room. They put some food down to make sure there's no food aggression. Everything seems fine. I think we have a match, and this is going to be a good deal. And look at them together. They're fantastic. All right, thanks. I'll see you soon on the next Sitting with Dogs.
Okay, but what happened to Lucy? Well, it turns out there's this couple, Susan and Howard, a disabled veteran. And it turns out Susan, it says right here, is addicted to watching Sitting with Dogs, which I totally get because they recently lost their shepherd. And I'll tell you, one thing that can be really healing when you lose a dog is being in the company of other pet lovers. Now, Susan and Howard, they've adopted shepherds before. So when they saw Lucy on camera, they wanted to help, but they didn't know how she was going to react when they met her, and they were 15 hours away, but it didn't stop them. They drove 15 hours to meet Lucy. And you know what? They bonded right away. In fact, my team says, they say, oh, read the letter on your desk, okay? I like a letter right here. Oh, wow. Okay, it says, Dear Rocky and team, what you have given to my husband and me is truly a divine gift. Thank you. Not long after we lost our baby girl, Foxy, at age 10, we started watching you on YouTube, Sitting with Dogs. I was in awe from the start and watched regularly, sharing all about your show with family and friends. Thank you. We were still in mourning of our girl Foxy and knew when the time was right for the perfect angel dog, they would find us. That magic moment happened when we were watching on August 16th an episode of Sitting with Dogs, and we saw an interaction between Lucy and Rocky. We rushed right away to pick up Lucy before it might be too late. Lucy and Howard bonded on the 15-hour trip home, and Lucy has not left his side since. Lucy seems to love her new home and Howard, and I adore her. Every morning, Lucy brings her toys and her blankets to Howard while we watch the morning news. She shows us so much gratitude and love. Adopting a rescue dog has always been and continues to be the most rewarding experience for us. Wow, Susan and Howard, this letter has touched my heart, and I know it's helping so many in this community also that are so passionate about helping dogs. Okay, the team said this update just came in that Lucy is still fearful and timid, but not at all aggressive. She's sweet, intelligent, and a highlight for us was observing her watching one of Rocky's YouTube videos. She certainly remembered him. That's awesome. That makes my day. This community is the best community, and I hear things like this, especially in our members group. You can sign up to become a member by hitting the join button, and that really allows you to be a part of this community as well, and it contributes to us being able to continue to help more dogs. So we know that Lucy is in a loving home, and she now has that forever family that she deserves. But what about Zeus? Do you remember Zeus the Border Collie? I was worried about him too because he wasn't getting adopted right away. Here's his backstory in case you haven't seen it yet.
There are a lot of good dogs at the shelter right now. This dog, though, seemed to have a certain sadness in their eyes. And all of that blinking, it certainly means something. So we're going to go and sit down and see if we can help. And a little teaser, we really go on a journey together. But I think you'll be really happy with what happens. We even get to talk to the animal control officer that found this dog, and wait until you see the before and after at the end of the video, because Mel, the shelter groomer, is actually able to help come in and groom this dog. All right, let's go in and sit down. Hi, please sit that right there. Yeah, I think the aggressive blinking is interesting. It's very obviously a sign of anxiety. It could be a breed trait. You know, I haven't actually ever sat with a border collie. I spent time with border collies. They are unbelievable working dogs on farms and ranches. I've worked with a border collie on a farm. One of the most highly trained dogs ever. Like, would jump up to the farmer's shoulders and sit on their back, would jump into the tractor, the passenger seat on command, just faster than a lightning bolt. They're really great dogs. So to see a border collie that has such confidence in their skills and ability versus a border collie here at the shelter shut down and blinking really fast, almost like they're going crazy, is just heartbreaking. I worry about her too, because when someone comes to adopt a dog, the ones that get adopted are wagging tails and direct eye connection. And while she's not a black dog, her eyes are really hard to see from far away. And her really rapid blinking, combined with her hiding in the back of the kennel, puts her at risk. I'm going to try a treat. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. You know, sometimes I'm concerned on whether or not we're going to be able to help. Other times, we get surprised with this really nice, immediate trust almost. Now, I'm going to sit down. Where I always issue cause for concern, though, is sometimes people will see that as an immediate invite to turn around and, you know, I call it the coochie coo, the dog, you know, and you still want to go through the steps in the process and let her be on this discovery mission. Or him. I said her, I don't know why. Him? Yes. Alexis is outside of the kennel looking up information right now. Yes. And it wouldn't surprise me. I'm trying to get some looks here. I mean, he's very dirty. He's really dirty. But that doesn't mean he's not somebody's dog. We're going to get his story in a minute, but I wonder if there's not somebody out here looking for him. If he just came in, I wonder, is that a collar up there of his?
It is.
Can I see that? These sort of collars can have a positive or a negative association, and I don't want to set him back, but he does seem interested. So let's show it. Is that your collar? Is this what we use to go for a walk? Oh, do you know a walk? Do you know walks? Did you see that? You know what? I'm not going to say it again. Replay it and slow-mo and look how he reacted to that word. He knows that word. Wow, that's amazing. Look, he's almost like waiting now, like, let's go. We can't, because most likely, I'm going to get his information here, but he's most likely on a hold until they have a chance to try to find out who his owners are or what. I could be completely wrong about that, but he can't go in the walking program just yet. He's tired for sure. You see, I thought I saw that when I first came up to his kennel. Like, he's blinking, but his eyes are also trying to stay awake, and he's yawning. Sometimes that's a sign of being nervous, but I think those nerves are calming on him, and I think it's more he's just tired. When dogs come into the shelter, they often don't sleep because it's such a stressful environment for them. So sometimes what happens is when they get some companionship, which is just something built into us that we need, dogs need, humans need, and when that happens, they can start to relax a little bit. And when a little relaxation comes into play, they just realize how tired they are. They fall asleep. They start drinking water. This is really good. Okay, I think we got to get a little informational story on this toy. All right, Alexis, were you able to find any information on him?
Yes. So he is only a year old. Very young.
Yeah, he looks really young. He's very dirty for only being a year old. Obviously, it doesn't take long to be dirty. See, any slight movements, even he gets fearful. I'm gonna try to move really slow with him. How long's he been here?
This is his 4th day now.
Really? I would have thought it was a first day. Okay, that's a problem. A day or two being in that kind of state at the back of the kennel, it's understandable. If you're on your 4th day like that, in most shelters, these dogs don't have a long time. And so if they're not starting to come to the front of the shelter, they don't get months to adjust. So I'm glad we're here. Okay. Microchip?
No microchip. He only has that collar. And that had no ID tag on him either. So
isn't it odd that it's got the chain on there too?
Yeah, it's strange. He had to have belonged to somebody, but no way of contacting an owner, unfortunately.
Okay, so no microchip, 4 days, no owners come. Yeah, I was hoping he was somebody's. And no tag on the collar either. Like, that's what makes it so hard. There's a collar on and a chain on and no tag and no microchip. Okay, tell me more. What do we know?
So he was picked up by animal control, looked up the call ID to get some more info on how that call went. And so the officer spoke with the property owner who called it in.
Okay.
Said that this guy had been going on and off his property for a while, just kind of coming and going as he pleased. And said it's not his dog. He does have another border collie on the property though.
Okay.
So not sure if this guy was coming and going because of the dog,
right.
Maybe, wanting some comfort from another dog or what.
Yeah.
But he was just roaming freely on the property for not sure how long.
Okay.
But just coming and going randomly.
Huh. Maybe just try to find food too, huh?
That too.
Which would explain why he's so dirty.
Exactly. Unfortunately, there's just not much else. We're never sure, unfortunately, if, it's the property owner's dog actually, but then they just called it in, or it really is just a stray. We just don't know those details.
It's important to note, if you ever go to a shelter and they seem suspicious, it's because you wouldn't believe it, because you likely wouldn't do this, but when people get in situations where they don't want the dog, they don't feel they can have the dog, they've run out of they've run out of all their options. Instead of going to the shelter and saying, I can't keep my dog, the fear, the embarrassment, whatever it is, they'll just make up a story and they'll go, oh yeah, this dog, I don't know, just keeps coming on and off the property. Oh yeah, that does look exactly like my border collie, but it's not my border collie, and they'll just kind of make up a story to get rid of the dog. I am not saying that's what happened in this situation, but that's why Alexis mentioned that, is because I don't ever want it to sound like, oh, we're always looking for the worst in the situation. But when you see a lot of these things happening, again, not you, but you would be shocked, or maybe not, how many people will make up stories to get animal control to take their dog because, I don't know, they don't have the courage. They think they'll get penalized, or I don't know what it is, but they lie. They just lie. He does seem so sad. And it's that sadness too that, like, you're never wanted. Like that feeling you get when you're like, I was a part of this family or this friend group or this relationship, and then I realized, like, I wasn't actually wanted. And I would imagine that's what he's going through, and that's what he's feeling. I've been there before, and it stinks. Like when you're chugging along and then you go, oh, the whole time I was not wanted. And certainly, maybe his mom got in an accident, is in the hospital, or his dad passed, or who knows. But also it could just be that the family didn't want him, didn't like him, didn't care, and here he is. And it sure seems that way, because he just seems sad. I know what it is too with border collies, because sometimes they're not, I don't want to say that they're not lap dogs, because they definitely will jump up in your lap and give you love, but they're very independent, and what they're looking for is direction and guidance and exercise and brain work. And so if they don't get that, they almost seem recluse a little bit, because they're just waiting for you, because they need that guidance and that leadership and that friendship and that love and that companionship. And if not, you just get this border collie that's very distant, because his energy is pent up inside them. And so that could definitely come off as we don't really like him because he doesn't like us. But really, it's probably you, not him.
I actually have a little bonus here. We were able to talk to Officer Matthews to get a little more info on how this good boy was found.
So when I went out there, at first, I didn't see any sign of the dog, but I waited around because I had a feeling he would show up. And then coming across a busy street, so I stopped traffic to make sure I can get him at least across to the side that I'm on. At first, he was very skittish, very afraid. Seemed like he had interactions with, other humans, but he was a little standoffish with me. So I ended up just kind of sitting down on the ground with a bag of jerky treats that I ended up finding he really enjoys. And I just kept giving him treats so he would, get closer and closer to me. He had 2 sets of collars on him. There was no microchip on him, so we weren't able to really be able to reach out to anybody or have an idea of who might possibly be the owner of him. The individual that made the call said that he would visit this individual's property every couple of days in intervals of like 3 to 5 days. He would be gone for a couple of days, then come back. I did try to contact the adjacent house. They said the same deal, he would just appear every couple of days. And then the location that he was found out, the houses were pretty far spread out. So if he was possibly somebody else's, he had traveled a pretty long distance to where I had found him, probably somewhere between like half a mile, if not closer to a mile.
And I think you probably deserve some positive affirmations. Is he getting tired again? I think he's sad. I think he needs some positive affirmations. Let's jump right into it. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I know you're tired right now, and you probably don't feel like it, but I want you to know that you are a good dog. Do you need some pets? You're a good boy. Yeah. Do you need a little affection? Oh, is that what you needed this whole time? Some pets? Hi. I'm here to tell you that at some point or another, all of us, including me, have felt like we don't belong. And that all our time there and our energy and effort wasn't ever really appreciated. But I'm also here to tell you that they were the problem, not you. And you're here now, and you're a good boy, and none of that was your fault. It's not your fault. And we're going to help you to find a home where you belong, and they love you, and they appreciate you, and they're loyal, and they want to spend time with you, and they want to work with you, and so that your love and loyalty is matched. Okay? We're going to find you a family, because you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good dog. You're a good dog. Who's a good boy? Are you a good boy? You are. I know it's hard to believe, but you are. You're a good boy. Yeah. Do you want a treat? Do you want a big treat? Do you want a big treat? Let's give you a big piece. Good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah. I think we can get him to open up a little bit more now, especially now that I think we've figured out that I think he wasn't appreciated. And you can feel sadness in an animal. I always feel it too when I'm really close. I'm going to move this water bowl so I can scoot back with him. You can feel sadness in an animal, and it's something with proximity. Certainly, you can see it in their eyes when you're this close. Hi. Hi. Can I say hi right there? How about right over here? Oh, it's a good dog. Right to the little boy. Does that feel good? I wish you guys could see how big his eyes are right now. They're just like popping out of his head because that feels so good. Oh, you got to feel good. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's so skinny. Oh, yeah, you can't see it. If he didn't have all this fur, I would have started this video completely different because he is emaciated. When you feel a dog that's this skinny and emaciated, oh, it just hurts inside so bad. You want to eat your treat? You want some help? Here. There you go. Good boy. Yes, a good boy. Yeah. Yeah, you're hungry, huh? You're a hungry boy. All my Border Collie lovers out there, I think you can attest to just what a unique breed a Border Collie is. Like, if anyone's ever got some space or they really want to work with a dog and exercise, the top dog that comes to mind for me is a Border Collie. Especially because you just won't find a dog that is more trainable than a Border Collie. Like, I always call them circus dogs because you could have a whole circus full of Border Collies and you could put on an entire show of them doing unbelievable things. You know, think about, this is the dog that can like walk on the ball, you know, for 20 yards and have the ball like under them as they walk on it. They're just really neat dogs. The reason the shelter doesn't give them just an unlimited buffet of food is because you have to be really careful. Like when a dog is emaciated like this, you can't just let them eat until they fall over. It's really dangerous. And you have to be really careful. But what he needs more than anything is to get in a home where someone can really focus on his nutrition, get him groomed, really just help him. He needs help. And, you know, you go, well, why didn't the shelter do that? It's just budget. You know, they can't be giving out premium cuts of filet. But I can. Hi, oh, we're buddies now. Huh? You give me kisses? I'll tell you how handsome you are. You're a handsome boy. I bet when you clean him up, his tuxedo would rival any gala. He's a good boy. Hi. It feel good? Let's do the cranium pressure technique here. I'm like that massage tool. It's like that feels good, but the moment that I think, oh, look at that. He's like, I'm gonna catch some Z's. That's really good. Yeah, that's good.
Zeus immediately takes a special place in Mel's heart.
because she is also a Border Collie owner. And she knows a thing or two about why Zeus might be so nervous at the shelter.
They're just very nervous dogs. They don't like change of environment at all. They're working dogs, so they just want to be outside doing their job.
Mel starts with some lavender shampoo to help calm Zeus as she continues to scrub him clean.
He looks a little bit more relaxed, but he still feels very tense.
Now here's a testament to just how amazing Zeus is. Even though this can be a little scary, he let Mel clean him thoroughly. It's almost like he understands that she has a Border Collie just like him. But there's still a big challenge ahead. How he'll react to the scary blow dryer.
I think the dryer might be scary. Huh. Is the dryer gonna be scary for you? Probably.
But look at this. As Mel's using the blow dryer, Zeus was like a pro at handling it. He barely even flinched. I'm so proud of him. Okay, now look at this before and after. Not only can you see his good-looking tuxedo, but through this groom, you can also start to see a little bit of confidence shining through. Now, he's not out of the woods yet. We've got to get him into a loving home, and that's where you come in by sharing this. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a pup date, and I'll see you in the next Sitting with Dogs.
So Zeus, we knew it would take someone really special to adopt a Border Collie. Not everyone can do that because of the attention and the dedication and the exercise incomes America. Her and her husband recently lost their Pomeranian to cancer.
We were looking to adopt following the death of our little Pomeranian. We lost him to cancer. After that loss, we were kind of just heartbroken and we didn't know what to do. It hurt us a lot. We were so heartbroken for his loss. And there was one day where we just said to each other, you know, let's give a dog a chance and bring someone else home with us. Our home was so empty.
As they were thinking about another dog, they really noticed that when they went on hikes, some of the really amazing sporting dogs like Border Collies were right there with their owners, keeping up along the hike. Also, America's sister had a Border Collie, so they were really in love with the breed and they were on the hunt for a Border Collie. So to their surprise, when they found Zeus, they ran to the shelter that same day and couldn't believe there was the perfect Border Collie right there, ready for them.
The first time we saw him, the first thing we said, we looked at each other and we said his eyes look sad. It was just the most heartbreaking thing ever. But we knew the Border Collies, how they were, their personality, and we knew they'd break out of that. Lou right away came up to the front of the cage and just sniffed his hand, and then he wagged his tail just a little bit. Like we both knew, like we were gonna get this dog. He's perfect. His eyes look sad, yes, but he was just, you can tell he has a really sweet soul. So there was no doubt in our head that we were not gonna get him.
Now here's something fun. Zeus has a new name, Lou, which means famous warrior. Here's what America had to say about that.
We were actually looking through names to kind of fit his personality a little bit more. And we came across Lou. In the description, it said it comes from the meaning of a famous warrior. Famous, we found out later he was by being loved by so many people. And warrior because we didn't know what his story was in the past or what his life looked like.
Still, just as powerful as a name as Zeus. Now they said he still has a long journey ahead of him, but one really promising sign is he loves other dogs. It really helps him come out of his shell. And they're working to help him continue to grow so they can go on even more hikes with him and get him really comfortable in that environment. And he loves running around the yard, even roughhousing with Dad. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? He even secretly plays with his toys, but when he gets caught, he immediately stops. He likes to play with his toys on his own time with nobody watching, and that's okay because Zeus, now Lou, we all love you. Congratulations on your new home.
I wouldn't say he's 100% confident yet, but he goes in and out of the house as he pleases. We have a little dog door that our Pomeranian used to go through there to access the house in and out. He was so scared of that door. When I brought my sister's Border Collie, he kind of showed him like, oh, you go through here to go in, and he figured it out. He was learning from the other dogs. So he's making like little progress every day. We see it. He'll follow us everywhere we go. He's great on walks. When we put him on a leash and we go walk, he's very, very well disciplined. We're hoping he gets to that point where, you know, he comes up to us when we come through the door, gives us hugs and kisses and licks us. But we know he's gonna need time. We're just keeping an open mind, and we're excited to see how he learns every single day.
While we're talking about specific breed dogs, let's talk about Daisy Mae the Doberman. Dobermans are not easy to get adopted, especially when they're in a fear state based off their experiences. So when I met Daisy Mae, I was really worried. Now, I want to go through a refresh of her story, just in case you haven't seen it, or just as a reminder of the trauma she went through, because as she was about to get adopted, it went really bad and things took a turn for the worse. Let's go through the update and then I'll tell you exactly what happened that wasn't good.
Hi, are you scared? Oh, yeah. Hi. Oh, are you growling at me? Are you growling? Okay, I'm gonna take it real slow, okay? I'm gonna go real slow. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Okay.
A growl from a Doberman can no doubt be concerning, but there's a lot at risk here because that behavior is going to prevent her from getting adopted. Coming up, you'll see a roller coaster of ups and downs where she'll really start to let me in, and then there'll be certain things that'll really cause her to regress. But stick with me, because in the end, there's a really neat transformation I think you'll love as much as I do.
You know, I can't tell if the hair on her back is standing up or if that's just from the flea and tick meds they gave her when she came in. I'm saying she because she's got a pink collar on, very easy to see. It's really hard. Like, I use the camera as a rear view mirror in these situations because, you know, dogs that are in this fear state will react. And sometimes that is fight versus flight. And I don't want that to be me. It's one of the reasons I wear this, because then I can help control the situation quickly if I need to. It's just a leash that goes on that just kind of tightens up very quickly. Let's try some treats. I want her to know that we're coming as a friend. I mean, she looks really young. So let's try a treat. Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's good. A dog eating a treat is, you know, it doesn't matter how tough they are. I'm going to use that to sit down. Okay, real slow, real slow. It doesn't matter how tough a dog is. When they start eating a treat, they're immediately cute. And her little ears, her little bouncy ears, within moments, she went from growling at me in the kennel to this, licking her lips. That's good. And that's not like a nervous, submissive lick. That's like a, oh, these treats are tasty sort of lick.
Definitely interested in what you got.
Curiosity can help break through fear, which is a good thing. It's just a different part of your brain. And when that curiosity starts working, I'm actually going really much slower on treats than I want to, so that I can just drive that curiosity. We're going to find her story out here in a minute. Kelly is with me today. Okay, are you able to get into the system and get the notes?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Kelly, while you're pulling that story together, I'm going to try to get a little trust here and do some treats with my hand. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Also, I felt her cute little lip chomp, and she's pretty cute. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can go straight to an open hand. She might be trusting enough that we could just go straight to an open hand treat. Let's try. I'm gonna do some touch too. I'm gonna get a little sneaky. And I'm gonna do some paw touching. So let's see what we can do here. So we're gonna do a treat paw touch. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good. She looks really healthy, like really healthy and clean. I mean, the sheen on her coat is maybe one of the best I've seen in the shelter. Okay, double paw touch. That's trust, because that's me. That would be like if someone came in and put their hand on your hands and you were okay with that. That's a pretty big step. I'm going to make a prediction here. We're going to get her story, but I'll bet you see this really pretty tough looking Doberman getting the scoop in a matter of minutes. Okay, Kelly, I think we're in a spot now where I can get her story. How old do we think she is?
The notes say that she is 7 months old.
Yeah, it's the paws that give it away. One, her cute little floppy ears. Look at those things. Look at those legs. Like right when you said puppy, like look how much more of a puppy she looks like. Kelly, what is her story?
She is not microchipped.
No microchip.
But it's a little irrelevant because she's an owner turn-in.
That's why she's so pretty, is because she's probably been fed in a loving home. And then, you know, it is interesting because sometimes you can tell the difference with a dog. Like if Kelly would have asked me or telling me, guessed if it was what it was, I would have said an owner turn-in, because what she's doing, like when she's growling at me when I come to the front of the kennel, is she's like a kid that was left by their parent and now they're trying to be strong and they're trying to be tough, but she's still really scared, as you can see in those moments. And it's just, you know, this is what happens to a dog when you turn the dog in. Okay, why did they turn her in?
The husband and wife are separating.
Oh, come on. I'll say some things and then I want to know what you guys think. But I think all of us has probably been through a breakup and it's hard. But the dog doesn't suffer. Like, why is the dog suffering? Why, like, one of you can't step up to the plate and go, hey, I made a commitment to you. Let's take care of you. Like, I know it's devastating and I know it can be hard. And I know maybe it's hard to find a place to live to get a dog. So I know there's a lot going on, but I just, you know, I see it all too often to the point where sometimes people just go, well, we're breaking up and so this dog doesn't fit in our life anymore because it was our dog and now we don't want the dog. You may be going through some temporary heartache that you'll get through, but a lot of times when you put dogs in shelters across the nation, that's the end of the story for them, and that's permanent. She's new, huh?
Yeah, she's only been here for a couple days, but she should be available because she's an owner turn-in. They don't have to have a holding.
Can I see her form?
Yeah.
Okay, so owner turn-in, you know, I'll bet it got a little rough too because animal control picked her up. So they didn't bring her to the shelter. Animal control picked her up. Sometimes this happens in, like, you know, there's a big old fight, brawl, like, I don't know about physically, but like it's a bad situation. Got bad, really fast. And animal control said, hey, we'll come out and we'll help. Or they got there, assessed the situation and said, we'll help.
We can ask the animal control officer too, maybe.
Yeah, okay, stick around. We'll see if we can get some of the information, and I'll put that here at the end of the video. 36 to 75 pounds. You know, she's probably 60, 65 pounds, I'd say. Maybe not. She's pretty skinny.
Yeah, she's a lean girl, but she's going to beef it up and get bigger for sure.
Yeah. She's a Doberman, by the way, in case you're wondering. I think a lot of people probably already know that, but you all have that one person we know, that friend that like knows every single dog breed and they're a little pretentious about it, right? Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter a whole lot. What the serious situation right now is she's in the shelter, and it's not easy to get Dobermans adopted because not everyone has room for a Doberman in their home, or the want and the desire to train a Doberman and give them the leadership and guidance they need. Let me tell you a couple things about Dobermans. Great family dogs. You know, they're portrayed as the junkyard guard dogs often, and that's just not who they are. They're great guard dogs, but they're also great family dogs. But they have to have guidance, and they have to have boundaries, and they have to have exercise and all the things, right? She closing her eyes?
Okay, so one other thing is we do know her name because she was an owner turn-in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Man, you're good at this. You should come with me more often. Shouldn't Kelly come with me more often? I try to get her to come all the time, but she doesn't like dogs.
What? Hey, don't worry. I'll put a couple on the truck on the way home. It'll be fine.
I'm starting to rethink my my comment there. Yeah, she is starting to fall asleep, huh?
Yeah, she's getting comfy for sure. Do we want to give her a new name? Do we want to?
So, okay. Yeah, I want to give her some positive affirmations, and I want to know her name. And then let's see what we think. You know, she hasn't had it for that long. So, yeah, let's find out. And then I want to tell people about the funny comment we got about me talking a lot from one of our members. Okay. The drama. We had some internal drama, which we don't get a lot.
No.
But it's interesting. I do want to talk about it. Wait, did they just put in a new sheet?
Yeah, someone came by just a minute ago. They just updated it, so now it says she's adoption available.
Oh, here, let me see that one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the family released her, I'm sure.
Yes, so she can go home today.
So typically there's a 5-day hold, and but in this situation, the owner said, you know, we're going to turn her in, and so they can release her earlier so that she can get moved, hopefully adopted sooner. And look at her little intake picture. It's so cute, which means she developed this reactivity just recently as like a defense mechanism to try to cope with what was going on. But as you can see, that's not the dog that we have here. And we're going to move into seeing if we can get her to really loosen up. Okay, what is her name? Hit me with it.
Daisy Mae.
She heard that. Oh, that is a cute name. Okay, I'm going to try it on her and see if she knows it. Because if she knows it and she reacts well to it, I think we should keep it. If she doesn't, or she flinches or anything like that, then I think she's young enough where we change it. Okay, let's do some positive affirmations. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. No, it's cute. That hit. You're a good girl. Let me show you this. You're a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to see if she reacts to her name. Daisy Mae. Daisy Mae. You're a good girl, Daisy Mae. Daisy Mae. Daisy Mae, you want a treat? You want a treat, Daisy Mae? Oh, good girl. Daisy Mae, that's a good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yeah. I think she knows it. I think she likes that name. Daisy Mae, you want a treat? Good girl, Daisy Mae. Good girl. Yeah. That's a good girl. Yeah. You're a good girl, Daisy Mae. Hi. You little puppy. Your little puppy paws. There you go. That's a good girl. Yeah. Okay, we got a little nervous there. I don't know if you could see it, but we got a little gnarl in there. Hi. You want a treat? Okay. She's still really nervous. Like, hi. She's a good girl. Daisy Mae, come here. Come here. You want to come over here? You want to come over here? Hi. Hi. That's a good girl. Yeah, good girl. You're a good girl, and none of this is your fault. You're just a puppy. You didn't deserve any of this. Yeah. Listen, Mom and Dad were going through some things, and so they had to make some changes, but we're going to find you a family that will never let you go, that will always keep you close. And you can take your collar, and you can get a new collar that'll fit you, because you're growing up to be such a big, good girl. All of this that you're going through right now, it's the hardest part is over. We're going to help you from here, okay? You're a sweet girl. Yeah, you're a sweet girl, Daisy. You're a sweet girl, Daisy Mae. Daisy Mae, I love you. You're a good girl. Yeah. All right, we're going to try the one-hand treat and the pet. Yeah, still super nervous about that. Good girl. Let's try. I'm going to try a head pet and see what that does. Okay. Oh, that's somewhere between I don't want you doing that and that feels really good. Oh, good girl. Oh, it's a good girl. Yeah. She's like tensing up because she, you know, it's like she's so scared of it, but it also feels really good. So I'm just watching her really closely because if she gives me any signals to stop, I'm going to put a little pressure on her head, get that blood circulating. Okay, we're going to pull back. Then we'll let her come to us for the next one, if she wants that. There's something about, having that head rub where it just gets blood circulating that just kind of opens up your brain and lets you go, okay. That really, I see, makes a big difference with these dogs. If you can get to that point, don't walk right up to a dog and do that, by the way. In fact, I just say as a precaution, don't do that. But over time, it's something I've learned that really helps. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, that's a good girl. Oh, what about the neck right there, dude? Does that feel good? Oh. All right. It's a push and a pull. It's you give a little bit of love and then you pull away so that they can process it and go, I really enjoyed that. Or I didn't like that at all. And then you'll see signs. Because then if you go in again and they go away, it's not timing. I think if someone adopts you, Daisy Mae, they're going to be very lucky because they're going to get a girl that has a pretty coat and is still a puppy and still has a lot to learn and a long way to go. Hi. But she can grow with you and grow into your family. Oh, hi. Does that feel good? Well, you're so good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl, Daisy. You're a good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah. You're a good girl. It is interesting, Kelly. I don't know if you saw, but hey, say her name real quick. Watch.
Daisy Mae.
She's like, how did you know that? Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. I know? Yeah. Daisy Mae, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Yeah, it's a journey, right? Like, I thought she wasn't ready for the scoop and she needed it more than ever. Dogs like us, they just need love and they don't always know, oh, you scooting up now on the scoop? That's great. They don't always know what they need when they need it. And that's okay. I'll just say, like, anytime someone's hurting, you don't have to have the answer. You just got to be there. And especially for a dog, when they're scared and they're lonely, they don't know what they need or what they want. They just need you.
Okay, good news. We did get to talk with Officer Blackmore to get more details on what happened and why Daisy Mae is here.
Hey, it's Rocky and LT.
Oh, hey.
I sat with Daisy Mae, and she was actually growling at me. She's getting kennel reactive, but then she was so sweet. Like, I got her into my lap and everything, but it seems like she's, you know, she has a good coat and she seems well kept, but just scared to death. What happened on the call, if you can share?
So my original call for her was a running at large, aggressive Doberman. When I arrived, the owner was actually waiting for me. Their owner is unfortunately going through some lifestyle changes. She said that Daisy is very skittish of strangers, but was just standing away and barking and growling at the neighbor. And she did express a desire to sign her over. I'm pretty familiar with the breed, so I was expecting her behavior. They tend to be one-person dogs. They can be very untrusting of strangers. You do have to kind of gain their trust before they stop barking and growling. They're actually very fearful dogs. So she was at first very protective of her owner when she brought her out to load her onto my truck. Growling, hackles raised, lunging at me. Throughout the day, I was giving her treats and stuff and trying to just calm her down now that she didn't have her owner to protect. And she wasn't super friendly with me at first. She did growl at me and did snap at me at one point when I tried, safely petting her through the bars of my truck.
Yeah.
But by the end of the day, I was able to leash her safely, and she actually let me remove her harness and leash without incident.
That's good. Yeah, that's interesting because I had the same experience. I mean, we sat with her for, I don't know, hour, 2 hours, and towards the end, she crawled in my lap. But initially, yeah, she was very scared. She was not going to just give me her trust right away. I had to really work for it. But then, man, what a sweetheart.
Oh yeah, and that's, I find, unless it's super socialized from an early age, that's just kind of how Dobermans are with people they don't know.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work. So my hope is that she goes to someone that is experienced with the breed. I think she'd be most successful somewhere like that. And the owner did caution that perhaps no men would be best, but she's so young, we might still be able to overcome that. But
yeah, well, and I think I overcame it, so I think it's possible. What do you think about with other dogs? Do you think she would get along with other dogs?
The owner said that she gets along fine with her housemate that she had. She was housed with an Aussie. That was her friend. They got along great. She may have had issues with the neighbor's dogs, but it was unclear, as she would just kind of stand far away and bark while the other one was kind of going up to people.
Yeah.
Good with kids, as far as the owner said. She had children in the home, and she did great with them. It was more just super protective and very fearful of strangers, which again, normal for a Doberman.
Right. Well, okay. Really appreciate you. Thanks for taking time and showing her love. And I fell in love with her just spending a little time with her. So, yeah, really appreciate it.
She's gorgeous. So hopefully we find her some help and we get her a good home.
So I sit with Daisy Mae. Certainly, she has fear issues that come off as aggression issues. So not just anybody can adopt her. And in fact, someone tried. And they brought her out all the way to the car, and she, actually made a members video about it. A lot of times I put things in the member section that I don't think should go wide out to everyone in the audience because it's just a little more sensitive and I want to keep it within that community. But I'm going to share it with you now so that you can see what happened. Here's what I said.
Daisy Mae had someone come in and actually adopt her. Awesome, whoever you were, thank you so much. Got her out, it took a while, got out to the car, and she just panicked. And the fear set in, and she had just got the microchip, so she was already worried about the needle. There was so much going on, it didn't go well, and she did not react good. And the family got really worried because they have kids and they have a family, and she started doing that little lip gnarl because she got so scared, and that can come off as very aggressive. It's not good. So we're gonna make a plea to rescue groups, because I think if she could get into a rescue group, especially a breed-specific rescue group or big dog rescue group, somebody who's worked with dogs that are very fearful like that, where aggression can come out, or it can look very aggressive. So fingers crossed, we're gonna make a plea to rescues. We're all working on that together. Glenn is actually right now donating his time. Glenn is a trainer, a local trainer that's awesome. We've used him, you've seen him before probably. He's working on practicing her getting in the car, in and out of the car, so that that's not as much of a fear hurdle. So if we can get that, then that's just gonna help even if she does go to rescue. So we're working on it, but I wanted to let you guys know first, because the shelter is actually right now, put her down is not available for adoption. Understandable, because she's just such a mess. So that's the update. I will keep you updated. Thank you for being a member, and we'll keep working on it.
So yeah, so that went really bad. The shelter said, hey, we got to move this to rescue only, understandably. But then at the last moment, someone came in that they thought could be the perfect adopter, and I agreed wholeheartedly. There's a couple, Teresa and Steve, that didn't live far from this shelter, but they didn't know about Daisy Mae until Teresa's grandmother, Patricia, who watches all the Sitting with Dogs videos, shared this video with them. Sharing makes such a big difference in saving the lives of these dogs and helping them find their forever home. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and shared these videos, because you are the ones helping save these dogs. Okay, so Patricia shares this. Teresa and her husband Steve go to the shelter right away. And they say, we understand, we totally understand that she's got issues. We think we can help her work through that. And the shelter explained the situation, but they said, no, we think we can really help. And so they did a little meet and greet test.
They warned us that she was adopted and didn't end up going home with that family because she wouldn't get in the car with that family. We knew meeting a new dog is scary in that type of an environment. So we brought treats. Treats always help. We went into the room. I sat down right on the floor. She came over and she ate from my hand. And I didn't pet her until she was ready. And the moment I knew that she was ours is when we're kind of wrapping up our meet and greet. And I didn't have a treat in my hand, and she walked over to me and nudged my hand. And I'm like, she recognizes us as good people. And then she went over to my husband and did the same thing. So I'm like, oh my goodness, look at the progress that we've made in this short amount of time. We both looked at each other and said, she's ours.
Daisy Mae took a treat out of Patricia's hand right away. There was just that connection that was meant to be. She wasn't fearful. She wasn't acting aggressive because of that fear. It was certainly a good fit, and the shelter agreed. And so they adopted Daisy Mae. And the reason for going into the shelter to do this is because they recently lost one of their pups. Here's what Teresa had to say.
Last year, we lost a dog in October, and her name was Lexi Mae. And so we already had a dog with the middle name Mae, and she was a very special dog, and I didn't feel like having the same middle name. I wanted Daisy to have her own name. We have renamed her Daisy Duke. And at the time, we still had our little dog, Maya Love, with us. Well, unfortunately, Maya passed away about 3 weeks ago. I had to have a big conversation with our little dog Maya when we got Daisy to let her know that she wasn't forgotten. But I'd like to think that all our dogs in heaven have sent us Daisy to help us through this transition, because it's always tough when you lose a dog. Well, now that we have Daisy Duke, I'm not as sad as much as I used to be. I mean, I was really sad. She's making this a lot easier, definitely. We adore her and very blessed and thankful that we have her.
And what's even more, she used to sing "You Are My Sunshine" to her dogs. And so it was just meant to be.
Our very first dog, Kia Maria, our Doberman, that was the song I sang to her all the time as she was a puppy and growing up. So when he sang that song, I'm like, oh my goodness, that was another connection for us. And so her first night in her crate, me laying in the bed next to her, I sang that song over and over and over and over again, hoping that it would help make her feel safe. Instead of saying, "You are my sunshine, you are my Daisy," is what I would say.
And although they'll never forget Maya, and they're still processing that, they now are opening their hearts to Daisy Duke. And hopefully Daisy Duke will now get to hear "You Are My Sunshine" on a regular basis.
Fortunately, my husband is retired, and she's kind of like his little buddy, kind of follows him around and all the things that he does throughout the day. Her temperament is fantastic. She is nothing but a sweetheart. And she just wants love. That's all she wants. She wants love and she wants to play. She doesn't want to be apart from either one of us. She's already fantastic in the car. You know, they told us how she didn't get adopted because she wouldn't get into the car with her first family that wanted to adopt her. Now she is in the car all the time. She jumps in on her own. In fact, she jumps into the driver's seat. She's like, where are we going today?
I love it. I appreciate y'all so much. And the happy stories aren't ending, because what about Moose? Now, Moose is a big boy and he went through a really traumatic experience. Remember the cat? Let's replay his story, and then I want to give you one of my favorite pup dates ever that has just recently happened with our boy Moose. Okay, what do you see when you look at this dog? Look closely, because a lot of people would just walk by and see a big dog just laying there. What I see is a giant puppy in a state of trauma, and I know I have to go in and help them. There are little signs that I'll point out here in a moment, but right now let's go in and see if he'll let us sit with him. He needs help.
Hi. I'm gonna go real slow. Real slow. Okay? Can I come in with you? Hi. I'm sorry. I know. It's okay. Turn around. I'm not looking at you. I think the part that gets me is just the shaking. It's like the uncontrollable shaking from fear. Just penetrates the heart. If you have a heart, it's so hard to see. But I will say, I've seen it time and time again, how amazing dogs are. And if this does hurt your heart, stick around, because I believe we can help this boy. What I want to try to do is change the dynamics so that the pressure isn't on him, because he doesn't have the physical ability to move right now, because he is experiencing so much trauma. Normally, if a dog is scared, when I come into the kennel, the dog will dart to the back of the kennel. What's happening here is beyond fear, it's actually trauma. And I don't know if this guy has been through trauma or I know he's going through trauma right now, because what this space is telling him, what's happening in this moment right now, is his brain is saying, I've lost any control over my situation. I don't know what's going to happen to me. It seems bad, and the body just shuts down. And that's where these tremors are coming from, because he has lost the physical ability for his body and his brain to navigate through this. I'm going to go ahead and sit down, because I want to get just as low as I can. I'm going to, and he looks at me. I don't want to be looking at him. I am sneaking some peeks, and I will tell you, he is a beautiful dog. The contrast between how majestic of a dog he is versus how shut down he is really plays tricks with your brain, because it doesn't align. He shouldn't be in this state. Obviously. Nobody should be in this state. That's good. See how he looked at me right there and I wasn't looking at him? That's good. That's what I want. I want to try to tell all of his just natural instincts that there's no fear here. Okay, we need to try some treats. Oh, do we know that word? It is interesting in situations. Now, this is not the same, but in situations with trauma, retraining the brain through giving it rewards, it's kind of like giving a dog treats. Oh, I think he knows that word. Kelly, are you seeing this? He moved to that word, didn't he?
Definitely did.
Okay, let's try a treat. I think we de-armed where he knows it's okay that I'm in here. Oh, it got me doing that. It's pretty cute how, like, when if you noticed it, replay it, when I scooted the treat over there, he was like, no, I'm gonna wait till you go away. So it's definitely suspicious. Let's see if he'll take a treat from my hand. Watch this. I'm gonna go lower. We'll look away. Callie, is he interested at all?
I'm also trying not to look at him.
Okay, the eye contact it gets him, huh? Okay, let's try it again. Oh, Gil, I don't think you saw that because you look at those notes. He just took a treat from my hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
I would love to get a little bit of his story.
Yeah, so we actually have quite a bit of information on this dog.
Really?
Yes. So this is not the first time he's been here in his young to short life so far, unfortunately.
No wonder there's trauma, right? There's pre-existing trauma. There's more trauma happening. This is why we get this shutdown fear state. Okay, but even at this young age?
Yep. So he was here about 3 months ago. He was found on a very busy intersection by animal control. And at the time, he was only about 6-7 months old.
Okay.
And was also pretty scared, a little bit timid at that point as well.
Yeah, I mean, any dog running around in traffic, that's likely to scare the living daylights out of him.
So he was adopted after a little bit of time here.
Okay.
By a family. And we have quite a bit of notes on what his family life was like and just personality things.
Okay.
But there was there was an issue with the cat that did not turn out well for the cat, which is what led him to be returned here recently. So he's about 10 months old.
He's only 10 months old?
He's 10 months.
Oh, he's still got growing to do.
Yeah.
No wonder his paws are so big. Okay, is the cat still alive? No more cat. Okay. When someone adopts a dog from a shelter and then months or years later they return the dog to the shelter because they had to move or whatever it may be, that always breaks my heart because you say, like, you knew where they came from. In this situation, it's a little different because they probably adopted him. He was a little puppy, big little puppy, and they had a cat, and you think, oh, he's a puppy, it'll be fine. And it did not turn out to be fine. And so, that's also traumatic for the family. And most likely they have more cats. And so they said, we can't do this. Or it was just so traumatic they didn't feel like they had an option. Acids. All right. Is there more?
I just have more on his home life. He was in a home with kids.
Okay.
And
good with kids?
Yes, but also just because of his size.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that, even we separate our dogs and our young kids who are 2 and 4.
Yeah.
And he's a puppy and he's still learning. And so I think a family that has that time and patience or the experience to know how to handle that, it didn't sound like there was any issues with the kids, but just it could be a problem. It says that he loves to play, but he's also shy yet affectionate.
Okay.
He's hyperactive and also destructive. I think that's probably more just like puppy.
Yeah, that's Mastiff puppy for sure.
But can walk on a leash and will play in the yard. It says toys. His favorites are balls and stuffed and squeaky toys. So we might want to see if we can get him some of those.
Yeah. Well, he's got one little toy, but I bet we could find some more.
Yeah. He knows how to use a doggy door.
Oh. What? I mean, that had to be a big doggy door.
Yeah.
So basically he knows how to use the door?
Yes.
Can you even have a doggy door that big? I mean, at that point, does the robber just not come in?
The front door? Yeah.
Oh, but that's good. That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. And it says he's friendly and playful and submissive with other dogs.
Oh. Look at him. And he's going to sleep. How long has he been here?
He's been here for 2 days.
Okay.
But he is adoption available since he was an owner turn-in. Right. So there's no hold on him.
Now, I am not going to pretend to know this family's situation because I don't. And I will never fault anyone for giving a dog a try. But I will say that if you adopt a giant dog, quite literally the giant of the dog kingdom, outside of a Great Dane, like Mastiffs are huge, you have to really put so much time, energy, and effort into them. And you have to set boundaries. You have to be your dog's advocate. What does that mean? In our home, it means that there are boundaries set as to where Kobe can go. Now, he's a giant Cane Corso. He's blind. He's got anxiety issues. So he doesn't just get to free roam around the house all the time whenever he wants. He's definitely bulldozed the kids over by accident a couple times because, well, he's blind. And even if he wasn't, big dogs, they'll just do that. They don't understand that little kids don't have the capacity to move when your dog's running through. He doesn't always mix well with other dogs, so we have to be very careful of that. If a neighbor comes over with their dog, we have to politely ask them to give space. He would not be okay with cats, Kobe. And so we don't have a cat. Could we figure it out and make it work? Certainly, but it's not fair to him at this point. He's special needs. Maybe you could work with this dog, but the better way to do it is for someone to adopt him that doesn't have a cat and is ready to put in the time and energy and effort to exercise and get all the mental stimulation that a Cane Corso needs or a Mastiff needs. I just realized how long his leg is too. He's the longest leg. Okay. Do we have a name?
We do.
Okay. I want to give him some positive affirmations, and then I want to try his name. Text it to me because I want to see if he still knows it, if he reacts well to it. I'm sure it came from the family, the most recent family, so he hasn't had a lot of time with his name, so he may not know it yet. So let's see if he knows it, because if he does, I think we'll keep it that. I'm sure he had a positive experience. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe he had a positive experience with this family. But if he doesn't know it, it may make sense to change it.
One more important note before you try and get all cuddly with him.
Okay.
It does say that he is scared of men, yelling and loud noises and vacuums.
That's so interesting because I picked that up initially. Dogs being scared of vacuums, that's understandable. Loud noises, very Mastiff characteristic of sorts. I wonder why the men thing.
So there are some conversations among some of the staff here regarding men and leashes, that maybe something happened potentially after the altercation with the cat happened, that it maybe wasn't necessarily handled in the best way for this dog.
Yeah.
So
we don't know for sure.
We don't know.
Something happened to the cat. Male got really upset, took it out on the dog. The problem is it's not his fault. Like, he doesn't know. He requires guidance, but I could understand, obviously, if you lost your cat,
Right. Well, and as parents to kids and pets, it's our job to provide them an environment in which everybody is safe.
Yeah.
And
seems like that didn't happen here.
no, it's unfortunate either way for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can work through that.
You're a good boy. Oh, you're a good boy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, his eyes just get you right to the soul. I know you didn't mean it. And I know your family probably loved you a lot, and that really bad situation happened, but that doesn't make you bad. That was just that moment in time, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to help guide you. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you can see the fear that it's like someone's going to lash out at me at any moment, and I don't even know why. I don't know what I did wrong. He didn't know going after the cat was wrong. I'm sure he got caught up in the moment, and then it was over before he knew it. Okay, I might need the name to see if that helps or sets us back. I hope it doesn't set us back, because we're almost as far back as we can get. Okay, you texted it to me?
I did, yes.
Okay, let me see it here. Oh, I read that wrong first.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
interesting. I don't know. Because I don't know if it's in all caps because that's what the system is set up, or if it's for the individual letters.
Well, I'll say from the top, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't want to say it. I don't even want to say it. We'll spell it. He can't spell.
Right.
Well, that we know of. R.I.P. Okay, well we're gonna change it for sure, right? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we should give him a better name.
I want to give him a name that really gives him an opportunity to be loved. And what do I mean by that? The first time you meet him and you hear the name, you go, "Oh, that's cute. That's a good boy. Yeah, it's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah, it's a good boy. It's okay. It's a good boy. Yeah, it's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah."
Okay, I thought of 2 names.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Moose.
Oh, Moose. Oh, you like that? Moose? You like that? What if that was his first name?
Maybe.
I mean, the way he reacted to that, Moose. Moose. Yeah, it's Moose. You like Moose? Moose, 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 Moose. Moose is a good boy. He's a good boy. I just want to hug him so bad. I want him to be ready, you know? He needs it too, like, he's ready. Okay, we're gonna try this. Come here. Come here. Is that okay? Huh? Is that okay? Yeah, okay. Come here. Come here. Okay, come here. Okay. Okay, come here. Here, we're gonna move you over here. Just a little bit. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. That's a good boy. Yeah, we're gonna move you over here just a little bit. You're definitely making this awkward. Okay. 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 There we go. Oh my goodness. He's like so heavy. Okay. Okay. Good boy. Would you mind making a guest appearance in here?
Sure.
1, people love you, no doubt. And 2, it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to you. I've had to work this hard. I bet he just crawls right into your lap. You want to come squeeze in beside me over here?
Moose, are you a good boy? Are you a good boy, Moose?
Isn't it wild when he like hits you with those eyes? It just like gets you right to the bottom of your soul.
Hi, buddy. Are you a good boy?
You gonna give him a treat?
Hi, buddy. Hi. You look so sweet. You just don't. You're a big pile of mush. It is really
Yeah, he really does he loves treats, but he really loves love. He was just asking you for it there too as he moved into slow motion. What would you say about Kobe in relation to the person that adopts Moose? Like, what should they know? Because Kobe is very similar to this behavior.
Yeah. 1, they are incredibly like lovey and loyal and emotional dogs, but they go also based off your own energy.
Yeah, it's so true. They are like direct reflections of your mood, your energy level, your excitement. Like when we're having fun and we're talking, sometimes we'll look over and Kobe's just pacing and we have to just like, okay, calm, or let him go out in the yard or something like that.
Yeah, work it out.
Yeah.
And so with him, because of his size, we have dedicated areas that's just for him.
Yeah.
Where his safe space is. Like he knows there are certain areas that he can go into and he will be the only person in that room that's his.
That's true.
Because, kids can be a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes they're overwhelming for us, much less a dog that can't see.
A lot of similarities, though.
A lot of similarities. Kobe wants to sit on your lap. He wants to, because he's blind, he always wants to stand in between your legs so he knows where you are. And, but yeah, he's a big cuddle bug like this.
Like this guy. A lap dog.
Yeah.
He's really heavy. Like.
Dense.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kobe will often walk up to you and turn around and lean his butt on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead,
give my booty a scratch. Huh. Hi.
He's cute, huh?
I know.
And he's like a velvet throw rug. Like he's pretty unbelievable.
Well, and he's got a little bit of brindle in him.
Yeah, he does.
You're right. He's gray, but has some brindle for sure.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly someone paid thousands of dollars for him.
Well, yeah, and then at some point, when he was around 6 months, ended up on the streets.
Yeah, running through traffic. You're a brave boy. What, he was at his last home for a couple months, maybe?
Yeah, for 3 months, which is tough because, you know, we talk about the 3-3-3 rule.
Yeah.
He was probably just getting settled into his home and starting to let his guard down and feel like he's in a good group with his family, and then he's right back in here, and it kind of resets that trauma all over again.
Yeah, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So 3 days just to get home and acclimated. 3 weeks to really just kind of find out who this dog is. You'll start to see little moments of them relaxing or having a little fun or playing a little bit. And 3 months to really learn the rules of the house. What's the routine? What are the rules? What can you do and not do? What are the boundaries? It just takes time. And often with dogs that have experienced trauma like this, longer. I mean, we've worked with dogs. We fostered dogs for 9 months, you know, before they're even ready to be a normal dog. So if you can adopt him, it's just got to take time, and remember that. But what you will get in turn is a dog where their loyalty is so strong, and it's like nothing I've ever seen. Like they just know because you were there in those moments of trauma. They will give you everything and so much more, and you will learn so much from them if you open your heart and your home to them. Yeah, look, can we just, now that he's trusting me, here's this shit. Can we just showcase this here for 1 minute? Yeah, sorry, bud.
Let me just say this about Moose. We stepped away from the shelter. I'm not there every day. It was 2 or 3 days. And every single day, every night, Kelly was saying, wouldn't Moose be a good farm dog? I'm just saying. And I'm like, Kelly, no. He's a lot of dog, and we just brought Pumpkin to Flip's farm, which is my rehabilitation farm, my coffee farm. So we grow coffee on Flip's farm, and when you buy coffee, that goes to help support all of the costs that go into rehabilitating these dogs on the farm. So you can get that, just go to flipcoffee.com, check it out, and it's really delicious coffee. I worked for years. I mean, we're growing the coffee. We worked on the roasting profile for years. It is delicious. But more importantly, I had to say no to Kelly because we just brought in Pumpkin and we aren't ready yet for another dog. We aren't set up for that. I'm working on a plan though to convert the den so we can bring in more dogs until we can build more of the little doggy condo huts that the dogs stay in. But Moose, he's a lot of dog. And so we went back to the shelter. I'm like, maybe. Let's just go check on him and see what's going on. And when we got to the shelter, we saw that Moose actually had a hold. Now, holds don't always lead to adoptions, so we still had to keep our fingers crossed. But then when we found out the whole story and that he was actually adopted, all of our fears of someone that could handle a big dog like Moose melted away with his family. Okay, so in walked Faith and her husband, who were regulars at the shelter. In fact, 2 years ago, they adopted another Mastiff at the shelter, Leia. And Faith has had Mastiffs since she was a teen, so she really knows this dog breed, which makes me really happy because it was certain to allow a greater chance of success for Moose. But they had to make sure that Moose and Leia got along because Leia was already a family member and she didn't always get along with every dog. So they did a meet and greet and it went perfectly. Moose is now a part of their family. He is officially adopted. And to fit the Star Wars theme of Leia, they changed Moose's nickname to Kenobi. Perfect, I love it. Who doesn't love a good theme? All right, the update is they said he's doing absolutely amazing. And Faith remarks it's like he's a completely different dog. He's loving, playful, yet gentle with the kids, and even has no fear of men. He's fallen in love with her husband and has done a complete 180 since what he was like at the shelter. He's more curious of others. He's not destructive at all. He spends his days playing with toys, the kids, Faith and her husband napping with Leia, and gets all the scratches, love, and treats that he ultimately deserves. And speaking of another highly deserving dog, what happened to Princess? It's one of the top questions I've been getting over the last couple weeks.
Okay, I want to tell you here from the top that it's pretty unbelievable the transformation that happens at the end. Like looking at her right now, if I were to tell you that I had her eating treats out of my hands, you wouldn't believe me. But I don't want to spoil it. I guess I just say all of this because there are some moments where it's just pretty hard to see her because she's just so shut down. But just stick with me on this one. I promise the transformation is worth it.
Hi, I'm just going to set this right here, okay? It's okay. It's okay. There's nowhere to go. You're safe. You are safe. It always hurts so bad when you see them at a point where they're still trying to melt away and they have nowhere left to go. The challenge is in a lot of shelters, this really is or can be the end of the line. So they have the right to be scared. Right now, right here, we're safe. But trying to tell them that and let them know that, that's the challenge. And most shelters don't have the time, the resources, the money, the energy to be able to do that with each dog, because you can't just walk by the kennel and say it's going to be okay and expect that they will just snap out of it and leave that fear state. Now, typically we'll start with a treat, and I don't think she's in any state to take a treat, but we are going to try and entice her nose a little bit. I'm putting that right on her nose and right on her tongue to try to just almost shock her system out of the state that she's in. And she probably doesn't like it. Like it's not like she's like, oh, that's really comfortable, I like that. But we've got to do something here to get her out of this state. Okay, that's step number one. I'm just going to leave it right there, almost in a little bit of an annoying way, so that she has to deal with it a little bit. She hasn't moved, has she? Okay. I'll take that away. It's okay. It's okay. I usually do this a little bit later, but I'm gonna try something where I'm gonna introduce some touch. Touch helps. Again, stress. And by the way, I'm no doctor. I might have all this wrong, but this is how I interpret it. It's what I know. It tightens your muscles. What's really interesting is it tightens kind of the external portion, is why you get the chills and your hair stands straight up. So if we can apply some touch to just change that a little bit, to work through that blood flow, it makes a big difference. We're going to try some touch. Little bits at first, so I can try to read any body language. Let me use my phone to see if I make sure there's no curling of the jowl and the lips here. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into positive affirmations right now. We'll do a little bit later when we get her out of this state. But I want to change my vocal tones to I want to give her every signal to try and see if we can break her out of this state. And then we're going to get her story. Hi. Hi. Hi, Mama. Hi. Oh, does that feel good a little bit? You release a little tension there? It's really cute when, like, even though their brain is fighting against it, it feels so good on their body, they can't handle it. She's like, her legs are like uncurling a little bit. She's like, I'm not going to admit it. My brain's not going to let me, but that feels good. Hi. Hi. Oh man. That tells me right there, likely poor nutrition, poor shape. You can see her tense up every time I touch her, but I'm just kind of going back and forth, push and pull, to try to show some of that love and that comfort, and just give her touch and get that blood flow moving versus that continuous state of just kind of goosebumps. Let's get her story. And then I've got something else I want to try that might help. Alexis, have you had a chance to kind of see what info we have on her and what her story is?
Yes.
Okay. What, girl, right?
Yes, she is a female.
I think she's in heat too.
Yeah, you would be correct. She is not sterilized, so currently they have that note that she's in heat.
Okay. Microchip?
No microchip, but we do know that she belonged to somebody.
Okay. And we don't have a collar or a leash, huh?
Not as far as I'm concerned, no.
So I'm going to try to come back here a little bit. I don't think any of this will matter to her, but typically with a dog, we'd kind of move to that next step where I think, oh, she's laying in pee over here too. It's so hard when they're so scared that they won't even move out of pee. Hi. Okay, so I'm a little scared to ask, but okay, so no microchip, no collar, but how do we know, how do we have info?
Well, over the weekend, she was actually an turn-in.
Oh.
So apparently, just going based off of the little info we have right now, she was likely waiting outside of the apartment complex or something, the office that she came from with her owner.
Okay.
And the owner had called animal control to come and pick her up. And the only reason given was there was hardship.
Like financial hardship? We don't know.
All that was in the notes were there was hardship. I would ask the animal control officer that picked her up how it was, the conversation was with them, but they're out on the field right now.
I mean, it seems like prolonged hardship too, because she's shedding, she's dirty, you know, she hasn't been spayed, she wasn't microchipped. And we're seeing this more and more where inflation has just caused, you know, prices keep going up. And then when someone has a couple $100s for the month, the choice is, do they feed themselves or do they feed their dog? Do they go get them microchipped? Do they get them spayed? If they can't afford it? And if there aren't enough low-cost spay and neuter clinics, or they don't know about them, then they don't get spay or neutered either. What is going through her head right now is that she has been abandoned and there's no hope, and she doesn't know what this new situation is, and fear has shut her down. She has no one to guide her or lead her, but we're going to help. That's the good news. And we're going to do that, and I'm going to try something that will induce a little bit of stress, but I've got to get her out of this corner. This corner is not doing her any favors. Let's try a couple keywords to just see if we can break her out.
I do have one bit of information left.
Yeah.
I usually save the name for after the story's been told.
Oh, we have a name?
But she has a very sweet name, and it's Princess.
Princess. She likely does not feel very much like a princess right now. Let's try her name. And let's try some keywords. So, Princess. Princess. You're a good girl, Princess. You're a good girl. Princess, you're a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl, Princess. You're a good girl. Princess, do you want a treat? Do you want a treat, Princess? Princess. Hi, Princess. I mean, nothing is, I don't know if she's just so shut down in a fear state or if she doesn't know that name. I think she doesn't know the name.
Let me double check and see maybe if the old owners' names, maybe they were Spanish speaking, maybe it's Princesa.
I don't know. I think we keep it. I think it's who she can blossom into be. I think she is a princess and she should be treated that way. But she certainly doesn't know it. I would not always recommend this with a dog that's in a fear state, but she's based off just looking at her. Oh yeah, I think it's important enough to try and help her. Oh, okay, come here. Okay. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. Okay. Yeah, she's about as stinky as they come. Okay, Mama. Okay. Let's get you up here. There you go. Let's scoop you in. Okay, that's okay. We're going to keep you over here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Wow, she is strikingly gorgeous. I think Princess is the right name. Oh my goodness. So we're just gonna kind of put some pressure on her in a good way. Just imagine having a hard day and someone just snugging you. Yeah, that's a good girl. Princess, you are a good girl. And no matter what you've been through, whether you've been loved and abandoned or never loved at all, it's not your fault. Whatever happened that got you to this point, you don't deserve it. Because you are a good girl. And I can tell just by looking at you and being in your presence that you have so much love and you are such a loyal dog. Well, I can tell you would be there for someone through thick and thin if they would return the favor for you. And I promise you that we will find you that person. We will find you that family. Whatever it is that led you to this point, I am just so happy that we're together now, because myself, the entire team, and you don't understand this, but millions of people are now looking at you and falling in love with you too. And so it only gets better from here. You've gone through the hard part. Believe it or not, the hardest part is over. Oh my goodness, her heartbeat is like rapidly decelerating. It's really neat. And you can kind of see her eyes just relax a little bit. Remember, before you had those really darty eyes, and now that she can just relax them a little bit. When did she come in, Alexis?
She came in over the weekend, actually, the last day of August.
So today's the 2nd. So she's been here for 48 hours? Or
Today's the
3rd, yeah.
Today is her 3rd day.
So today's the 3rd day. Likely hasn't slept a wink. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Ooh, I have something we can try now. You want a treat? You want a treat? You want a little treat? Here, I'll break it up. You want that? A little bit? Here, I'll put it right there. Want that? Oh my goodness, you are amazing. Thank you for trusting me enough to take that treat. Oh my goodness. It's so huge. I'm like trying to be so cool because she's going to feel my heart rate getting excited and she's going to send her right back into that excitement state. But the reason it's such a big deal is her nose and her taste buds are working. You want the whole thing? Her nose and her taste buds are working. And when that happens, when those things start working, it means that her mind is in a different state. The amygdala is no longer able to send fear state to the adrenaline glands because now her nose is working. She's sniffing things. Her appetite is allowed to start kicking back up. And look at that. It's just like she's got some comfort now. Her heart rate is decelerated. I'm always careful when I move a dog into the scoop because I never want to force it. But sometimes you almost have to just a little bit to help break that state of fear. And that's what we were doing in this state. Your little paw moving? You just have a little paw? Yeah, you're so cute. Here. Okay. Yeah. You want another treat? Yeah, I'm going to set it right here. I'm going to set it on your paw. There, look. You got a treat on your paw, girlfriend. What? There you go, princess. The only way you should be served treats is on your paw, right? You can grab it? Here. There you go. I can't believe we got to this state. You're a good girl, princess. You're a good girl. Look, I love you. It's going to be okay from here.
And an update, they were able to pair her up with another dog to try to give her some companionship. Glenn Massey, who you see here, a local trainer, he volunteers a lot of his time at the shelter to help these dogs. He's taking her out and starting to work with her. As you can see, even with everything he's trying, she's just so shut down.
Oh, you can't hide under there.
But she couldn't be in better hands than with Glenn, and he just takes the time to work through this with her. It's just really tiny incremental steps, and he had to carry her around a lot. But even that, it's just starting to let her know it's going to be okay. As hard as this is, we're going to get through this.
Every day, Princess continued to be nervous, and the team thought, well, what if we pair her with some other dogs? And they did that, and it actually worked. It really helped her and brought her out of her shell and helped her not be so nervous, to the point where Mel was even able to groom her. And that was really fantastic because she just looked better and felt better. Also, while all of this was happening, Jackie was sitting at her home, and she also has a white husky named Iris. And she was thinking to herself, Iris seems a little bit lonely. And it just so happened the very next day that she was thinking that, she saw the video on Princess. She took it as a sign, immediately called the shelter, arranged a meet and greet, and took Iris up there to meet her. So when Iris and Princess met, Princess would move over to the same side of the room as Iris, like she was looking for guidance. And when Jackie saw that, she was sold. And Princess was even excited at the front of the kennel on the day she was gonna go home. It's like she knew that this was her new forever family. When she got home, she was shy and she stayed in her crate. But by day 3, she was out walking around. And while she gets cold feet sometimes, she's doing better and better by the day with the guidance from Iris. And I quote, she says, "They go around making small disasters." Who knew Princess had a little bit of a troublemaker in her? For everyone watching Pup Dates on their TV and letting the Pup Dates roll, thank you. I love it when families are coming together around this awesome cause of dog rescue. Make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have you as a member, and here is the next Pup Date.